This one single shot has made me interested in a show that I have not cared about since its conception. The Monsterverse has unveiled its newest titan in the trailer for Season 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. And it might be the biggest one yet. We already know that it's bigger than Godzilla and Kong, much bigger. So we need to examine this creature and how powerful it actually might be. Now, I want to be very clear. I don't give a solitary fuck about this show. I tried watching it. I tried getting into it. I just couldn't. Didn't find the characters that interesting. Didn't find the story itself that compelling. The monster stuff was cool, but I found myself wanting to skip to the monster stuff half the time. The Godzilla versus the Ion Dragon at the end, that was sick. I like that. Great fight scene. You could watch it on YouTube, though. Usually is the case that the human stuff... I actually do like Godzilla 2014. I think that's the film that takes Godzilla the most seriously. Even though Godzilla's not in it much, I still like the tone of it. The human stuff in these films is never that interesting. She's bad as fuck, though. That's a bad bitch right there. At first, you had my interest, but now you have my attention. Alright, Monarch? Because I love anything to do with the sea kaiju. I think there is one. Somewhere in the deepest crevices of our ocean. We don't know. We have only examined 5% of the Earth's waters. We don't know shit about what's really down there. I don't even know if it's likely that a monster this big could survive. Being that big in that kind of ecosystem. But, you know... let's keep hope alive. Now, what do we know about this creature? Well, it's already stated to us, this guy's bigger than Godzilla and Kong. This is the summary from Monarch's website or whatever. This is the first summary of the creature we get. Titan X isn't just another monster, it's a living cataclysm. Okay, this is ChatGPT written clearly. This is all the calling cards of AI. When its massive bioluminescent form breaks the surface of the ocean, the world seems to hold its breath. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. It's an ancient force emerging from the deep. Its purpose is uncertain. We don't know what it's here for. And I don't think it's necessarily a villain or an evil creature like Ghidorah, even though it might be the main antagonist of the show. We know that its origin might be from the Axis Mundi, right? This rift between worlds, these kind of air pockets between a vortex that lies between our surface world and Hollow Earth. We know it's ancient as fuck because there's been cave paintings. Cave paintings are a norm in this universe. The cave paintings are held for the kaiju that are like the big threats. We know that when it comes from the ocean, it brings with it these sea critters that act like little parasite crabs that jump onto the beach and start maybe attacking people. I don't know. It reminds me a lot of those parasites that were attached to the Cloverfield monster when it arrived in New York. They would latch off of it and start attacking people. I don't know if you've seen the movie Underwater with Kristen Stewart, but that also had sea monsters in it. It had these humanoid sea creatures that were part of a larger monster that were attached and hibernating on it. This Cthulhu-like creature. I think we're dealing with the same kind of shit here. We see these tentacles with like blades and fangs on them. People thought this was like the Kanaki-Naka creature, which is also canon to the Monsterverse, this kraken-like beast that would feed on the radiation of nuclear submarines. It arose when Ghidorah roared. When Ghidorah usurped Godzilla as the king of the monsters and roared, it was one of the creatures that rose up and Godzilla had to pacify it. I don't know why the fuck they didn't just use that story and put it here in Monarch, but okay. We know it's not the same creature. It doesn't look the same. It has a very different facial design. And I want you to pay attention to something. The tentacles are here, right? But I don't think these are tentacles. I actually think it has like crab-like legs, similar to the Kraken from Clash of the Titans, if you remember. Tentacle beast, but when you see it stand up, it stands on these giant crab-like legs, which make it way, way bigger and physically imposing when it finally rises up. And then you have the eyes. What's up with the fucking eyes? It's like two twin eyes that fuse in and fuse out. Why? What's up with that? It could be just a cool aesthetic design that the concept artist put in there to make it look different and distinguished from other kaiju. There's one of two likely scenarios here. It's a mutation for the purposes of adapting underwater. It resulted in two separate organs. Maybe there's two sets of eyes that help it have better sight and better vision underwater. Maybe. That's probably likely what it is. But because it glows and it has a bioluminescence, I actually think there might be more going on here. Like a more maybe spiritual basis. I think this guy can control other sea life, similar to how Aquaman calls on all the sea creatures, right? I think it can control those crabs that go on the surface. I think it can control a bunch of sea life. I think there might be a hive mind thing here, where when it splits the two eyes, it kind of splits off from controlling all the creatures and lets them be sovereign. But then when it fuses, ooh, it's going to control all of them. You know, who knows? Or maybe it's the other way around. I think that would be a cool kind of threat to the humans if it can do something like that. And then we have the shot of all shots. Oh man, look at the beauty, look at the sexiness of the shot. I get turned on by this shit, man. I'm like her, bro. Look at her face. This is me right now. You see how fucking hot she looks in this? You see the face she's making? That's me looking at this shit. This is so sexy, bro. I'm a big I don't mean to sound like a freak, but I'm a big giant monster fan. I'm a big sea monster fan. I do want to see a creature like this in real life just come out from the ocean and just humble us one day. Or, well, I could think of a couple different places I would like them to attack. I'm joking. No calls to violence here. I just want to see. I was thinking it'd be cool to see this, not from close by, from a distance, of course. I don't want to be near its vicinity, but it's just so sexy, bro. Look at the scale! And that's the thing here. It reminds me of the shot from House of Dragon with the little dragon and the big dragon above it, but with the fucking aura of the Kraken. That's what it reminds me of. And that's the thing. We're bringing scale back. If you pay attention to the shots of this trailer, even Godzilla entering Japan, the scale is back. We've been missing this. Godzilla versus Kong ruined all sense of scale. We have Godzilla and Kong fighting on a fucking battleship in the ocean that should sink the moment they step on it, and they're way too small on that shit too. Like, this is scale. That's what I'm talking about, alright? Now, how big is it really? This is the other obsession of mine. I'm a big size comparison person. I really want things to be big. It's just a thing. So I decided to take it upon myself to figure out how to measure this thing, alright? People have already tried to do size comparisons. They're all fucking wrong. I don't trust anybody who tries to do this. Look at this, look at this. This is the Naginata creature, right? And this is Godzilla. They're saying that this thing is that much bigger than Godzilla. And Godzilla versus the blue whale, that's the size comparison. This is wrong. This is wrong. Not only the people who try to do this online, do they fail miserably, but even the people making the movies and the films and making the creatures designs, they lose all sense of scale too. They're never consistent with their sizes, and it pisses me off all the time. It's a pet peeve of mine. So I decided to use this, plug it into ChatGPT. Yes, I know I'm using AI. I'm a fucking hypocrite, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta do this. And I know I'm probably helping pollution by doing this, but fuck it. Look at the whale. Look at the creature. I decided to use ChatGPT to help me scale this. So, step one, we need to figure out the blue whale size. The blue whale can be anywhere from 80 to 100 feet. We decided to go conservative here and say 80 to 82 feet. We're gonna go on the low side, just for the benefit of the doubt, okay? So we know that's how big a blue whale is. Biggest creature on Earth, I think, right? Biggest animal on Earth. The blue whale occupies like 20 or a quarter of the larger creature's visible mass. The head of the monster alone is way bigger than the blue whale. It could be 4 to 5 times the size of the blue whale. I think more, way more. I don't know how the fuck ChatGPT came up to this conclusion, but still. So if that's the case, it's 4 to 5 times the size of a 100-foot blue whale. Anywhere from 330 to 425 feet is the size of this creature. I beg to differ. I think it's bigger than that, and I'm going to show you why. The distance between them, you could measure it to be 100 feet. Approximately. Again, this is all... We're doing approximates. We don't actually know what the fuck the scale is, and neither do the creators. Let's just be clear about that. 100 feet between them. Let's just say it's 130 to 200 feet. Maybe we're going to plant it at 100 feet. We're going to go conservative, okay? If you have over 100 feet between the whale and the monster, and you see it looking like that, you have all this space between you. This space from there up between you and that creature. Imagine how much bigger the creature's going to look when it's right on your ass versus 100 to 200 foot difference. I was looking at some of the other size comparisons people made. Someone did this. Look at this. This is the size they think the creature's. They think the blue whale's that big compared to the creature. To Titan X. Are you serious? You think that this was the point of size between them? You think this is the size difference? I want you to take a look at this blue whale, okay? This is a human compared to a blue whale. They're saying a human is this small compared to the monster. That's still a pretty big monster, right? Big Titan. It's way bigger. There's no way a blue whale is this big compared to Titan X, according to what we saw. This is the blue whale, 100 feet away from this, and you think the blue whale's still this big compared to that? Are you insane? No. Fuck everyone online, fuck Hollywood, fuck anyone trying to do this movie. I'm gonna do this myself because I'm the cinema vigilante. I'm gonna scale this myself. I only trust me. So going off of everything that ChatGPT told me, I decided to make my own size comparison, okay? Here it is. This is, I know this isn't exactly what the creature will look like, but this is Titan X, okay? That's the blue whale, okay? I want you to pay very close attention. You see this little dot here? Yeah, the 2 dots. I made 2 of them. That's a human. Okay? Let's zoom in. So this is the end of a blue whale. That's a human. Speck of dust compared to the bigger monster, the bigger Titan X. This is how big Titan X should be realistically based on everything we've seen. Point blank. Period. Let me try to measure how tall this motherfucker is. How many feet? Not how long he is, because that's a different argument as well. We're not measuring how long Ghidorah's wingspan is, or how long Godzilla is with his tail, right? Feet. What's the feet when they stand upright out of the ocean, right? I decided to use blue whales as my measuring stick, 100 feet each, okay? 80 feet, sorry, 80 feet each, okay? And I don't know how long these tentacles go back, but again, I'm measuring for the height. This is how long I think the hypothetical crab legs are. They're probably much longer than this. Again, I'm being very conservative here, trying to give Godzilla and Kong the benefit of the doubt, because they're going to look like compared to this creature. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm probably measuring this still wrong, but still. Let's say 8 to 9 blue whales. That's like 560 to 650 feet. Could be bigger because I was being very conservative. If I'm being ultra charitable, this is probably in the 700s. Let's put that into perspective. I'm sorry, I know I'm going crazy over this, but I love this shit. Kong is 337 feet canonically. Godzilla started out 355 in 2014, has been growing ever since. Is probably in the 400s by now. 390 to 410, give or take. Ghidorah, 521 feet. Again, we're not measuring length of wingspan or tail or any of that bullshit. Feet. You stand upright. How tall are you? You're way bigger than Godzilla, right? Shimu. If it stands upright, not on all fours, it's in the 500s, maybe close to 600 range. Motherfucker, Titan X might be the biggest monster we've seen yet. Maybe. Maybe. Again, I don't think they're going to make him look it because, again, movies are very inconsistent with how big their monsters are. The 1998 Godzilla movie, by the way, is the most inconsistent use of size I've ever seen in my life. That Godzilla ranged from the biggest we've ever seen to the small, to like a big overblown raptor in the middle of a city. Now, with it being like this, how does he end? Because we know this is a prequel show that takes place before the stories we've seen, like King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong. So obviously this guy can't last. He's either going to be sent back to Hollow Earth somehow, pushed in there by Godzilla through the Axis Mundi, whatever, or he's going to get destroyed and get his ass whooped and killed. They might waste him. I don't want that. He doesn't deserve it. I don't want to see him go out like Tiamat did in Godzilla x Kong. Remember Tiamat was such a hyped up creature and then Godzilla whooped his ass in 2 seconds? Like, come on, man. What I would love to see is just Monarch have this story of Titan X in current day. Just do it. Who cares? Oh, but it's going to mess with our Supernova Godzilla movie plans. Who gives a fuck? If he's going to die anyways, just to have Godzilla and Kong kill him in a really brutal war, and then you can have them fight whoever you want in Space Godzilla next. Just, I don't want to see Titan X and know, fuck, this is a prequel. He's going to lose no matter what. You know, it just takes away from the aura. I think he deserves a great outing, because remember, these cave paintings are reserved for the strongest, baddest of Titans, bruv. You're special if you're there, right? We've seen this in every movie. In every movie when we've seen a cave painting, it's a threat. It's a threat. I need this guy to go out having multiple battles with Kong and Godzilla, and I need him to at least whoop some ass. I need Kong to shit himself. Kong, you're not fighting this creature. If this guy goes into the ocean, what are you gonna do? Nothing. Fuck all. If he goes on land, maybe you can do stuff, but you're a midget. Two tentacles on you, one choking you, and one holding off your body. You're fucked. Godzilla's the only one who could really beat him, right? But I don't want it to... I'm so afraid when Godzilla is about to fight a Titan, because I'm like, bro, the Titan's about to lose in 2 seconds. We see it en route to fight this creature. Let's make it a drawn-out battle a little bit. Make it a tough fight. Come on, man. You're a whole-ass show. Let's have multiple battles in between the show. I don't want to see these... I don't care to see these humans bickering for an entire show. No. We go to point A to point B. Monster fight. Monster fight. Monster fight. Multiple. More than you did last season. Especially if this is your big bad. Fucking hell, man. There are also some theories that he might just be a good guy and survive. Which I hope so. I hope he goes to Hollow Earth rather than die. Rather than just getting killed, personally. That's what I think it would be cool to just have them push him into Hollow Earth, into the Axis Mundi, and send him back where he came from. And close the gate, the rift. It could be that he's just a monster that's lost in this world and is not in Hollow Earth and doesn't know where to be. So he's kind of on a path to destruction. He might actually not be a bad guy. Who knows? Do him justice, guys. Please do him justice. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.